YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back on Total War Rome 2, and I have another replay for you. This one's another one that I did in a custom battle, and this time it is a unfortified port assault, where one player on each team was to bring an all-land army, and the other player on their team was to bring an all-navy army. Now those were the only rules that I laid down. So, I was the naval player in this one. My teammate was the infantry player, and then we played Rome versus Massilia in this case. I didn't actually set down that rule, that's just what it ended up being. You can actually see that one of the Massilia players only brought a few ships, which is fine. It didn't end up being a big deal, though I had intended for them to be either all Navy or... it looks like they just kind of each brought some, because there's some here. Yeah, so it looks like each player brought part Navy, part infantry. So, and I brought a Navy, all Navy, and my idea here was that I would leave some ships to keep his ships busy, and then I was just going to sneak ashore with a bunch of landing craft, and I would end up losing the naval battle horrendously, but then my opponents would have all these naval-specific units, whereas I had a bunch of landing-specific units, which means that hopefully we can get in and force them to have to land their naval vessels. And let's watch this landing, it's pretty cool. We'll go watch my one of my ships here. I don't think you're going to miss a whole crap ton of naval combat out here. My guys are rowing in. Well, actually, you might miss a little bit. Yeah, here comes the initial rammings. One of my ships gets actually sunk right there. His ship won the ramming. I have a ship coming in for a ramming here. It's a Firepot Hastati ship. Boom! Got a pretty nice ram off there, but then I get sunk in turn, so I've already lost two ships. Another Firepot ram, and that's going to be a nice ram. Anyway, my men are coming ashore over here, so let's watch my men come ashore. So yeah, I'm going to watch all of my Romans disembark here. Yeah, that's got to hurt the ankles a little bit. It's quite the jump. Hopefully some soft sand. You can see the... Whoa, check out the crushing naval battles in the background. It's really cool looking. That's a cool shot. Anyway, so all my men coming ashore, getting ready for the fight. Whoops. Anticlimactic there. And then out in the naval battle, I'm just trying to cause as much damage as I can, and I've had some success. I've managed to sink a few of his ships, though I have taken pretty devastating losses, but you can see a few of his ships going down as well. And then this was just kind of the idea of I'll just sink anything and everything I can while my guys are landing, and then that'll mean even fewer troops he can bring to shore to use against me. But it certainly means that my guys were going to lose, there's no question. But like having sunk this little raiding Hemoli was a nice win. And then my teammate is kind of squaring off versus the Massilian here. They're doing a little bit of skirmishing. He's got some Syrian archers firing from this ridge over here. And they are firing down into some Celtic skirmishers and his infantry and getting some nice shots. And then, of course, now I'm threatening the other flank. And then my navy is pretty much goner at this point. You see these nice rams that he just got there. And I really can't get this ship turned around to give me another ram because his ships are just as fast. And he's got a lot more javelins than I do. So yep, see the guys trading javelin fire here. My guys don't have enough men to really stay in this fight for much longer. And again, I'm just trying to get turned around and see if I can get one last ram in, but it's not likely that I will. And let's get back into the camera here. He has Syrian archers that he's using to fire over the ridge. This is why I like these kind of battles. They're just different, you know? You don't get to fight on this terrain every time. It's different, it's fun, people don't know what to do, they kind of just have to work with what they did. Look at his Gallic hunters returning fire here. Uphill, though, against Syrian archers, the Gallic hunters will probably be getting stepped on for the most part. Check out the boats in the background over there, it's kind of cool, too. Get some neat views. Yeah, all the stuff out to sea, and then ships rowing around. Pretty cool. Anyway, so now I've got my troops that I landed ashore, and they're just Principes, and there's only 90 of them in each unit, not a full complement, which ought to make them kind of an interesting matchup against these Massilian troops, which are actually full complements. So like 120 Celtic warriors versus 90 Principes. Now these spear levy will get destroyed. His Massilian hoplites here is a real threat, though. These guys could easily probably tank out a couple of those Principe units, at least one. Maybe two. And then the Celtic warriors are also a danger as they outnumber me greatly and can hurt me badly in the charge. So the infantry fight proper is about to begin over here, where some Massilian axe warriors trade javelins with the Roman legionary cohorts. And He doesn't get the charge, which he should have. The Axe Warriors really needed the charge here, but they don't get it. And then it's going to be the same thing over here. He's got an Avocati cohort too here, so that's going to be a huge threat to these Axe Warriors. This time he's going to actually countercharge, but he's outnumbered. He's got 2 Legionary cohorts to a single Axe Warrior. But he does have a Massilian Hoplite and a couple more Axe Warriors in reserve. And then on my side, what I'm doing is engaging piecemeal. I leave 1 Principe free to keep from being outflanked. And then I go ahead and engage these Principes into combat with those Axe Warriors. And then I'm going to split up a little here. I'm going to move 1 unit around, and then maybe a couple of units in here, and then my teammate is moving units in. So essentially, we're gonna bring all these units in to be able to attack these guys from behind, and maybe it'll be easier if I get the green to see it. We're gonna attack these units from all sides, essentially. So yeah, I'll be trying to use my guys to push down this, and then we'll bring some pressure around. Now my opponent, though, wisely brought an Axe Warrior of his own around, trying to do some outflanking. So now I have 90 Principes and a straight-up grind-out fight with 120 Axe Warriors, which is going to be a pretty tough fight. So there's our guys duking it out here. And I'm kind of deciding, what do I want to do now at this point? I'm in a fight here that my men are going to barely win if they win. It's a very bloody grind-out fight that's going on in the street here. You can see my Principes duking it out with his Axe Warriors in mortal combat. Pretty sweet stuff. Very beautiful game. Ah, why do I always do that? Sorry. I mean to hit K instead of escape. His spear levy are going to get destroyed by my Principes, and this was kind of sneaky on my part, to be honest. Well, I say sneaky, not like supremely sneaky, but a little sneaky to say that one of us has to bring a navy and that I bring a lot of landing craft. Technically, it's a navy. So again, probably a little sneaky of me. So let's see, these Principes are going to charge these Massilian Hoplites, but I only want to engage the Massilian Hoplites with 1 unit and then use the other to try and get around their flank. But first I'm going to stop and hurl all my Pilla, and I guess the Romans are going to try and get ready for an early Javelin day with the Massilians. So here comes the Pilla. You can see that it's a pretty considerable amount of Pilla as well. And the Massilian Hoplites are going to take a considerable amount of damage, which is not what they want, because this is already going to be a challenging fight for them, and to just sit here and eat a couple of volleys of Roman Pilla is not what they want. And you can see the first volley didn't cause a ton of damage, but the second volley starts taking its toll, and it forces the Massilian Hoplites to charge, and then I can countercharge. But see how I'm going to sneak this unit around the flank here? So I'm gonna kind of try and sneak around the flank. Whoops. Yeah, sneak around and get in the back, but my opponent, again, he's going to follow up with this Celtic Warrior, and this is going to be a dangerous situation for me. But fortunately, my teammate does a great job of getting in here with his Triari and his Legionary cohort and really helping me out. So this ends up being a fight that looks like it's now going to grind out in our favor, though there is still quite a bit of grind out to take place before it's over. The Syrian archers still have a nice position on the ridge. They're getting a good number of kills here, up to 95 kills. And they're firing down into the flanks of these infantry. Oh, that's painful. Yeah, those Syrian archers are getting some great shots. Up here, though, this Legionary cohorts are actually getting ground down by a couple of units of Axe Warriors. That might be interesting to see. Over here, though, the battle is definitely going to swing in favor of the Romans. These Principe units are outnumbered, but they're good units, and it's going to be a long, drawn-out fight. And this fight over here is pretty close, too. The Axe Warriors are putting up a pretty stalwart effort. Pound for pound, my Principes are stronger, but the Axe Warriors outnumber me there. And all of his guys here get destroyed. Now, he is going to have to come all the way over here to bring these skirmishers ashore, which definitely worked in my favor, because he really needs them right now to be firing into my men. Now, his Axe Warriors out here are slowly starting to lose that fight versus my Principes. And then these Romans are about to break through, and then if that's the case, they're going to be able to get into the back of this fight, at which point the Massilians are going to be in a huge amount of trouble, because the Romans will have them completely outflanked, and they were already pretty capable foes, but being outflanked is going to be really bad for the Massilians. But yeah, let's watch that. Anyway, our opponents admitted defeat at this point, which was a little premature, but that's okay. They admitted defeat, and you can see there that the battle went fairly well for us. I didn't deploy a whole lot of men or get a particularly large number of kills. My teammate pulled most of the load there since he was the infantry player. You can see we were pretty heavily outnumbered by the Massilians, which is fine. Romans pound per pound have better troops, so it kind of makes it fun when that's the case. Let's take a look here. 216 kills, holy crap. These Syrian archers cleaned house. 74 kills in the Mercenary Gallic Hunter is a good start. And then you can see the Axe Warriors having a struggle there against the enemies. Yeah, the one Evocati cohort. 97 kills and having lost half of its unit is probably not fantastic, but it's not bad. And then let's take a look at the other Massilian player here. See if they had any particularly good stats. Okay, nothing special here. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. It was a little bit different. I'm guessing you probably haven't seen a lot of unfortified port assaults. And maybe unless it was on like THFE's channel or something. I think they do it sometimes doing the different battles, and it's fun. I wish I could do more of it. And again, if you all want to join me in these types of battles, if I'm online, it would be evenings US Central Time, which is GMT -6. That's on the weekdays, and I'm not saying I'm on every weekday. I'm on some weekdays, evenings US Central Time, between 6 and 8 probably. Or I will be on the weekends. Hard to say, it could be just about any time on Saturday. On Sunday, it would either be morning from 9 to 11 US Central, or from, I don't know, roughly 4:30 to 6:30 or 7, US Central Time again. So if you come online and you want to see if I'm there, just go into the multiplayer battles. If you see a battle that's called HeirofCarthage, that's me. So join it. Now, I'm not going to say that someone else may not come on here and host a battle called HeirofCarthage and it won't be me. But that's how I'll be hosting the battles. Feel free to join. Anyone's welcome. Hope you all enjoyed this. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.